All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So hi everyone, and welcome to the Honors Program's virtual Fall Preview Day presentation. So before we get started, I wanted to provide you with just a quick overview of what the next 30 minutes will look like, just so you have an idea. So my name is Sean McGuire, and I've worked in the BSU Honors Program for about 3 years now. So I'll start off our presentation and speak just a little bit about what the Commonwealth Honors Program at BSU is about. And then I'll introduce you to our Honors Director, Professor Bruce Mahart. And he'll speak a little bit about the benefits of honors and honors at our university. And then you'll hear a little bit from our current students, some of our current students in the program. And then finally, we'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. And I did also just want to let you know that there is a chat box that you can open on your screen, and I'll be monitoring that throughout the presentation. So if you think of a question that you'd like to ask and you want to make sure you don't forget it, I'll be answering those during the presentation. So please feel free to use the chat if you would like to ask us something. All right. So the Commonwealth Honors Program allows you to be part of honors for your entire college career. So from your first semester all the way until graduation. And it's a statewide accredited program. So you'll find similar programs and styles throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So like I said, you'll join as a first-year student, and you would complete a total of 21 honors credits, all of which count towards the 120 credits you need to graduate with a bachelor's degree. So when we explain the Commonwealth Honors Program, we like to think of it as two phases. We call them H1 and H2. So in the first phase, H1, students complete 12 honors credits in core requirements. So that's usually in the first and the second year. And then in the third and the fourth year, the second phase, H2, students will complete 9 honors credits in their major. And now I'm going to hand it over to our honors director, Professor Bruce Mahart, to talk a little bit more about the benefits of honors and the honors program.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Professor Bruce Mahart. I'm an associate professor in the English department with a specialty in creative writing and fiction especially. So I see the world in stories and through words. And so when I think about presentations like this, I'm always trying just to avoid reading a bunch of bullet points. And if you're considering honors, then you are in the process of trying to make a decision. And decision is one of these words that I love in particular, because if we break down the etymology of the word, what we find is that it actually means to cut away all of the other opportunities or all of the other possibilities. Decide finds its root in scissore, the same way scissors that you use to cut something or to incise, to cut into. Decide means to cut away all of the other possibilities. And if you're going to make a decision, you have to know some of the reasons why you might cut away the other possibilities. So why would we consider honors? First and foremost is the community, the sense of being with other students who are committed to the kinds of academic rigor, the kind of intellectual curiosity and advancement of their personal goals that you might be. One of the ways that we foster that community is through living learning communities, which is a centralized location for where some students choose to live. It's in Scott Hall, one of our residence halls, and that living learning community is populated by other honors students. We have small interactive classes, and from a faculty perspective, what I will tell you is we have small interactive classes that faculty love to teach. They're capped at a lower number of students, and in some ways we use them as a teaching laboratory, so we get to teach some of our favorite topics in new and interesting ways. And of course, to have an honors designation on your diploma or your transcript at the end of your career, and even beforehand, sort of makes you stand out for internships and jobs and scholarships, national fellowships, which we've been wildly successful at placing students in lately, and graduate school. So if you still haven't decided, if you're still not willing to cut away the other possibilities, then let's think about some of the other benefits when you're in the program. I think first and foremost, what our students will tell you is in a school, in a university of 10,000 students plus, it helps to be able to register as soon as possible and register for your classes. Our honors students from the very beginning of their honors careers get to register at basically the same time that the seniors do, which is 4 days sooner than they might otherwise, depending on where they are in their academic careers. So you tend to get more of the classes that you want when you want them. We also have one-on-one faculty mentorship. This can happen in a number of ways, and certainly culminating with a protracted mentorship relationship when you're working on your honors thesis as your sort of culminating experience. We have a physical location when we're physically on campus. On the 3rd floor of the library, it's a designated space. We've got comfortable chairs, we've got computers, free printing, coffee, tea, cocoa, really good company more than anything. Other honor students and the honor staff and faculty hang out in there. We have great leadership and service opportunities, and a lot of great free social events, both on and off campus, to sort of build community, build student engagement. So if you're preparing to make a decision, that's the first part of this process. I was lucky enough once to meet this gentleman who at the time I think was 75 or 80 years old, lifelong member of Alcoholics Anonymous. And he told me one of the stories that they tell, or one of the little metaphors that they use, has to do with decision making. And he said, if there are 3 frogs sitting on a log and one of them makes a decision to jump in the water, how many frogs are left? I suppose if we answer too quickly, we might say 2, but the answer is indeed 3, because the one frog has simply made a decision, but has not yet taken action. I know in my career as a writer, I've had 2 opportunities where a publisher in New York City has said, Bruce Mahart, we like this story. Would you please write the rest of it? Here's some money to do it. And both times I have said, yes, New York City editor, I would like to finish this story that I've started writing and I will cash your check. One of those times, what I did after I made the decision to write the novel is I sat down every day, no matter what, and I started imagining the story and cranking out pages. And some number of years later, I had a novel that went to print and was published. The second time I had that opportunity, I made the decision to write the novel, but because of a number of factors and my own self-discipline and issues like that, I did not take the action required to get those 100,000 words on the page. And you know what they did? They came and said, hey, Bruce Mahart, can we have that money back? There's a great decision between, or there's a great difference between making a decision and taking the action. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet right now and fast approaching 8. Everyone here is unique. I find it probably improbable that somebody here is really, truly special with 7.5 billion of us on the planet. Honors is not a safe harbor for special people. Honors is a safe harbor for people committed to doing special things. And that's what we're all about. And we're excited by the possibility that you might decide to join us. And I'm sure that you'd rather hear from some students than listen to me. So let's hear from some of our amazing honor students who are acting as some of our ambassadors. Let's start with Liz.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz Ezekiel. I'm a sophomore here at Bridgewater. As you can see on the screen, I am a double major with English and art history. My relationship with the honors program is I'm in the Commonwealth honors program, and I also work there as a student ambassador. My other job on campus is that I am a writing fellow for our writing studio. And then for extracurriculars, I'm a co-president of our ski club, and I also am on the executive board for our Relay for Life organization. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is how the honors program at Bridgewater can help connect you to peers, especially right now during this time of remote learning. So I think that the honors program at Bridgewater has connected me to peers through the community that we build on campus. This is something that Professor Mahart was referencing just a little bit a while back. So we live together in the living learning community. If you choose to be a resident on campus, we work together, take classes together, and even go to Zumba classes together when we can do those in person. I think it's a really great feeling knowing that there are people around you who are experiencing similar triumphs and troubles, especially during your first year as a student here. It's very important to have that community of supporters around you. The final thing that I want to talk to you about today is what I appreciate about the honors program. So what I appreciate most about the program is the flexibility that we have here. It's a very malleable program, meaning that there's not one straight path that everyone has to follow. And what I mean by that is that there are so many ways beyond a standard 3-credit course to earn honors credit. And not only do I think this alleviates some of the pressure when you're having to schedule courses, but it also makes your time here in school more interesting and enjoyable. So for example, in the last 3 semesters, I have taken 2 honors seminars, 2 honors colloquia, which are 1-credit courses, and then the seminars are 3 credits. I have been in the living learning community, a book club, and then I've also done something called the involvement cohort, which means that you go to different seminars and meetings and you get credit for it, for the honors program, that is. So I've really done a little bit of everything and been involved in lots of different ways with our program. I would really recommend to any incoming student to take advantage of the various ways you can get involved with the program, both to earn credit or just meet some new faces that you'll be seeing around for the next 4 years. I think that having a community of peers is so important to having a good support system and also to ensure your success at school.
So Gabriella, why don't you share with us what you'd like to share?
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. It's great to see everyone. My name is Gabriella Rivera. As you can see on the screen, I'm a double major in elementary education and Spanish, and I am a 3rd-year student. And just like Liz, I am also working as an honors student ambassador. Some other current jobs that I have or positions are I am serving on the Presidential Task Force for Racial Justice, and I am a co-chair on one of the subcommittees. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is why I joined the honors program. So there are so many reasons why I wanted to join the honors program. I showed interest, but it all began when I was a sophomore in high school. I toured the Bridgewater campus and I learned of the honors program through some of the orientation leaders, some of the students who were in the honors program or had friends who were in the honors program, who knew students in the honors program. They encouraged me that I should look into it. So I did. I learned more on the website. I went to their website and browsed that, and I was very interested in joining because of the community building, all the different opportunities that Professor Mahart talked about. You get first dibs on your classes, small classes, one-on-one sessions with professors and mentors. I instantly felt welcome in the honors program. After beginning with registration, that was a hard path for me because as a freshman, it was very confusing. I didn't know the steps to take, but once I reached out to Sean, she was very helpful and she was very warm and she took the stress out of registering. So now that I've been through the process, it's not so difficult, and I think it's gotten better registering and making it not so hectic. So after settling into my new life, BSU life, I immersed myself in all the honors program had to offer, from different book clubs in the fall to so many social events like Honor Student Congress meetings. I attended one of those. There's so many paths to internships and fellowships. Last year, I served as a diversity and social justice fellow, and that opened up so many doors because I was able to get to know different students from different campus communities. So just to get to the next question that I'm going to answer, how has honors connected me to all these resources and made other peers even during this remote learning transition? So as I said, the honors programs opened up so many doors to incredible opportunities. Even though my position as a fellow last year was completely in person, I had wondered how is that going to affect it now because we're completely online and there's no more in person. So the honors program actually led to the presidential task force that opened up that opportunity for me, along with the student ambassador, because I've gotten to know everybody in the honors program and I've collaborated with so many people. It opened up all those different doors for me, and I'm grateful that I joined the honors program, because even though given these difficult times and we're in a situation where everything's remote, I don't think I'd be here today if we were in person, whether it was normal times or not. I don't think I would be here if not for the honors program. So I thank everybody that I've worked with. I'm grateful for all of you, and I absolutely recommend anybody who's new that you should absolutely join the honors program. You will not regret it. I absolutely do not regret joining. It's a wonderful experience.
All right, so we're going to go back to Manuel. So Manuel, would you like to share with us a little bit more about you and what you enjoy about honors?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, I lost connection for a second, but okay. So my name is Manuel Pina. I'm a chemistry major. I also have minors in math and statistics, and I have joined the honors program since my freshman year, and I have to say it's one of the best things I ever done since I got to BSU, for multiple reasons, actually. One of the reasons being, when I first joined like the honors programs, I wanted a way that I could just like stand out in the middle of like a lot of other students, because obviously when you go to school, there's a lot of students with a lot of potential doing a lot of different things, and you don't want to be just another person. And the honors program wasn't a way that I found to like show that I can do more, and that I was willing to do more than the other students, just to like prove to myself and to other people that there's more that I can do. And another reason I chose to do it was because the people that I met. Because in the beginning, I was lost and I didn't really know what to do. And by joining the honors programs, I met some incredible people that really helped me through all the bad things that I was going through. Like I had just like moved to the US from Cape Verde. I didn't know how the college system work or anything. And I found people like Sean, Jenny, and Jen, like multiple people that end up like helping me go through those moments and like understand how like the whole thing worked. And
Hi, Manuel. If you can hear us, we'll give it just a moment to see if your internet connection resumes. But if not, we can move on to another student ambassador and then give Manuel another chance to speak in just a moment. So we'll give it just a few seconds. All right, so Manuel, if you can hear us, I'm going to let another student ambassador speak, and we'll give you another opportunity in just a moment to share with students more about your experiences in the honors program. All right, so Jake, would you like to share with us a little bit more about you and what honors has done for you?
Yeah, sure, totally. Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Murray. I am a sophomore here at Bridgewater State. I am a double major in Spanish and secondary education. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I chose BSU and how the honors program has just completely augmented my experience, and a little bit about what I've gotten to do as a result of my membership in the honors program. So when I was a high school senior, I didn't really know where I wanted to go. I knew I kind of wanted to stay in New England, but there's so many good options, and I was really having a hard time deciding. And then I decided to give BSU a tour. I always knew I was going to apply to BSU because I knew they had a reputation for creating great educators, but I figured I should go and see the campus. And as soon as I stepped on the campus, I just immediately knew that this was a place for me. You know, they always talk about that feeling when you step on the place where you're going to go, and that is completely a tangible feeling. As soon as I stepped on the campus, I felt welcomed and embraced, from the smiling students to the serenity of the campus to just the sights and the scenes and the sounds. I knew that this was a place for me. And after deciding to come to BSU, I knew that I wanted to be a part of the honors program. Even though BSU, I was a little intimidated because BSU had a 10,000 plus undergraduate size. And so I was looking for something that could give me that small campus feel. And that's exactly what I found in the honors program. I found groups of like-minded individuals who were academically oriented, success-driven, looking to capitalize on any and all opportunities. And that's exactly what I was looking for. From the small class sizes to the honors lounge to the seeing of fellow honor students on campus. It gave me that small campus feel that really makes BSU so special to me. And it has completely augmented my college experience. Through the honors program, I'd like to highlight two things that I've been able to do. The first is take an honors first year seminar course, and the second is to live in the honors Living Learning LLC. So as a first year student at Bridgewater State, we all take a first year seminar class, which are basically introductory classes that really help to solidify your college readiness skills. My first year honors seminar course was about Frankenstein and how the overreaches of science in that novel transitioned into today's world. And it was a really interesting course, but more important than the content was the skills that I learned in that class. That class taught me how to communicate with professors in a professional manner, how to write and construct essays, how to advocate for myself, and most importantly, how to reach out when I knew I needed help. That class taught me how to be organized, how to advocate for myself, and I know that those skills are crucial to college and success in college, and so I would not have learned those skills had it not been for this honors seminar course. And lastly, I'd like to talk about the living learning community. So the Honors LLC is here in Scott Hall, which is where I'm living right now. It is where groups of honors students live, learn, work, eat, sleep together. We all are in similar classes. We all have similar goals, similar interests, but the Honors LLC really gives us the opportunity to get to know each other, hang out with each other, build those strong friendships that will last throughout your college career. And so being able to live in the Honors LLC really helped my transition because it gave me those friendships, those securities, and really allowed me to be myself in a group of people who were just like me. And so this year, I'm actually working as the resident assistant or RA in the Honors LLC. So me and my floor partner, Rosa, we have a chance to watch the new batch of honors students come, learn, figure out their college career, figure out what students they want to be and how honors can help them. And it is the most rewarding experience of my life to be able to help them and guide them and show them all that honors and BSU has in store.
Thank you so much. All right, I think Manuel, were you able to rejoin us?
Yes, my connection is not like that good since yesterday because of the snow. I don't know why. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine was too. So it's okay. We're all learning to be adaptable and flexible, and that's what this time is about. And honors is also flexible and adaptable, and you know, so it's okay. We're just rolling with it.
So as I was saying, like the second part, like the second reason would be research. I also have been doing research since my first semester. And I only joined research because of the honors programs. I was talking to Jenny and she told me about like all the opportunities we had and how good BSU was with like research and everything else. And she basically explained to me that by doing research, I would open myself to other opportunities beyond just like learning stuff in class. And ever since my first semester, I started doing research in chemistry with Dr. N. And I have learned so much, and I have been to multiple places to present my work, Northeastern, Chicago, and Washington. So I have been to like different places to present the research I have been doing. And the last summer, I also applied to another different like research opportunity outside of BSU. And because of that experience that I got from the research that I was doing since my first semester, they were more than willing to accept me, and I spent the whole summer there, and with everything like paid for by their school. And it was another like amazing opportunity that I had to like learn new things and also expose myself to new things that I'm pretty sure gonna help me in the future, because my plan is to go to grad school and get my PhD, and hopefully with all the experiences that I had and all the help that I had in the past, thanks to like everyone, I'm really thankful for everything that everyone has done to me in the honors program. And because of all of that, I'm pretty sure that I am in a good path right now to succeed. So thank you everyone for everything.
All right, thanks Manuel. And last but certainly not least, we have Andrea, who's going to speak to you a little bit about her experience in honors and at BSU.
Everyone, so my name is Andrea. I am a marketing major with a minor in Spanish, and I am currently a junior. I'm in Commonwealth honors as well as departmental honors. Well, that paperwork is still going through, but you know. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I appreciate about being in honors. I like that the program gives you a convenient way to find a community, especially when you're just starting out at BSU. The program is here to provide opportunities for students who want to take that extra step. However, that may end up looking for that person, because for being in honors is all about giving yourself opportunities to explore new ideas, and the program provides so many opportunities to do that, whether it's participating in a book club or attending honor-sponsored events, going on field trips. Like around this time, we usually go to Salem, and that's really fun. Or just speaking to the staff at the Center for Transformational Learning, which is our hub of the honors program at the library. And now I just kind of want to talk about why I chose BSU. So I don't know if a lot of people say this, but I initially chose BSU for financial reasons. I had seen a lot of other schools, but at some point, you know, they all just kind of start to blend. But instead of having that stress me out, I kind of used it to my advantage. And I just started focusing on things that were important to me. So like living on campus, I found was something that instinctually just felt really important to me. So when my financial package came back and from BSU, and I found out that I could live on campus affordably, something just kind of clicked right there. And so plus BSU for me is within reasonable driving distance to home, but it's not too close, so that it still feels like I'm getting that new experience and I can have my space if I want it. And as the most indecisive person you're ever going to meet, I appreciated that the school had a lot of options for majors and minors. And more importantly, it's all about what you decide to do once you get here. And I just found myself saying yes to all the opportunities the school was offering and just got involved on campus, either from joining the honors program and the LLC that Jake was talking about, going to events hosted by our multitude of clubs here on campus, and also getting my position as an event programming assistant in the sustainability living learning community, and also as an orientation leader. Those were great opportunities. And just also that the school had a lot of resources, even those that other schools touted, and like our large alumni network, our career services, tutoring services, our internship office, the list just goes on. And it's just a lot of helpful things I knew I could always count on. So coming to BSU was probably the best thing I've ever done. And that's coming from the most indecisive person ever. So yeah.
Thanks, Andrea. So I just wanted to share this final slide with everyone. I know we're at time. So these are a few different ways that you can get in touch with us. Those are all of our social media handles, our email address, our website, and also our phone number. And the questions that we've had so far in the chat were regarding how you apply. So I just want to quickly go back to this slide. So everyone, if you'd like to screenshot it or write some of this information down and you need to leave, I just wanted to have this up here so you can have it quickly. So we do have inclusive admission criteria. So we're looking for students who have about a 3.3 GPA, high school GPA on a 4.0 scale, or if you are choosing to still take the SAT or ACT this year. If you aren't, that's okay. It's not a requirement of BSU, and it's also not a requirement of the honors program. So that is just an optional thing that you are able to do and share with us, and you don't have to share that with us. So we look for about an 1170 SAT or 24 on the ACT. And if your scores are maybe a little bit lower than this, we still encourage you to apply, because the other thing that we do ask for on the application is a 500 to 600 word essay on why you would like to be part of honors. So you can share with us things that you're passionate about, things that you're interested in, how you want to be involved in our community. And so we love to hear more about you, and we want to learn about you as the entire person and not just what your scores were on a certain test or what your GPA was, because we know that there's a lot more to you than that. So there's also some other places on the application where you can share with us some other things that you're passionate about. If there are volunteer opportunities that you've been involved in high school, or if you held any leadership positions, or if you've won any awards or anything like that. So there's lots of opportunities on that application to share with us some more things about you. Again, just more than just that academic component. And so again, I know that we are over time, but so there are no sessions happening after this. There are some virtual tours happening. So you can go back to the landing page for the event if you would like to attend those. But we will stick around for a little bit just in case there are some more questions. So I do see a few coming in, and I know that Andrea has already responded to the question, but just in case if you don't have access to the chat, I'll share that out loud. So one of our attendees asked if there is music. So yes, we do have, almost every department is represented in honors, and we do have students that are music majors or minors that are in the honors program. So as you heard from our student ambassadors today, we have students that are majoring in elementary or special education, students in chemistry or marketing. We have students in history, chemistry, biology. So almost all of our departments on campus are represented in honors. So you'll have an opportunity not only to meet honor students in your department, but you can also meet other honor students that are in different majors. And that's also really wonderful when you're taking honors classes, to be able to have these classes with other students that are majoring and minoring in areas that are different than yours. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to add them in the chat. But if you do need to go, we really thank you for joining our presentation, and we hope that it was valuable. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to add them into the chat, or I will go back to our final slide if you would like to call us, if you'd like to email us, or send us a direct message on one of our social media channels.